Hey everybody, welcome back to Gaijin Gaiden. And this time I want to talk to you about what it was like to see Star Wars The Last Jedi here in Japan. Now, just so I'm clear, I'm not going to review the film itself for you. There are plenty of other people who are doing that. In fact, on my other channel, where I do talk about movies and TV shows and such, I'm going to be doing exactly that later. This is where I would like to talk to you about the actual experience of going to the theater, seeing it here in Japan, and why that's kind of a little bit of a unique experience. So, I saw this movie today, January 17th, July 7th, December 17th. So the movie came out 2 days ago on Friday. I just did not have time Friday or Saturday to go see it. So I went to the theater, and there are two versions of it there. You have the one that's dubbed into Japanese, and then the one that I saw, of course, which was with the Japanese subtitles. And the Japanese dub is, I think, really more for the kids. You know, the little kids who are interested in Star Wars, but they don't want to sit there and read a whole bunch of stuff all full of kanji they probably don't know. So, you know, no problem there. So I went to the next. So the first showing of the day was the dub version. I certainly didn't want to see that. Nothing against it or anything. It's just, you know, I want to hear Mark Hamill's voice when Mark Hamill talks and such. So I ended up going to, for the very first time, the 3D 4DX version of the film, which was certainly an interesting experience. This is one where you have the seats that will move, and they'll flash strobe lights at you, and they'll blow air in your face, and underneath the chairs during certain rooms there's like stuff that tickles the backs of your legs. I mean, there are a few things where there was like one instance where they actually had some like simulated snow drop from the ceiling, and twice they even had a thing where they would spray water directly in your face, which is not so great when you're wearing 3D glasses because you have to take them off and clean off the water. They do give you an option where you can press the button and turn that off, and after the second time I got hit in the face with some water, I decided to go for that. They also tell you to use some of the little lockers that they have at the theater to kind of put your wallet and phone and stuff in there. I guess maybe they're just worried about, you know, one good jostle and maybe your phone or something will fall out of your pocket and end up getting smashed on the floor. Uh, my phone and my wallet are not to be separated from me ever, except you know, when I'm at the airport. Those things are either in my pocket or within, you know, basically sitting right by me or on the shelf here in my apartment. I do not separate myself from those for any reason. So I just stuff those in the pocket of my jacket. Uh, and because I was going to the 4DX thing, the theater guy that I talked to, he asked me, is this like the first time you've gone it through this? And when I told him yes, he had this little chart. It was all in Japanese, but had little pictures in there saying like, yeah, you can take food in there, but you can't take drinks, which is perfectly reasonable because you're going to be jostling all around, and that's just basically guaranteed to spill things. It was like, don't stand up during in the seats, which I don't know why you would do that in a regular seat, but you certainly don't want to do it in these. And they gave me one of these little theater pamphlets. And this is actually like more a proper magazine. It's not all just about Star Wars. It's about, you know, other movies that are coming out. Jackie Chan apparently has some upcoming movie called Kung Fu Yoga. There's a thing in here about, oh, well, you can see it right here, the second Paddington movie. It's just a nice little fun thing you can get. I mean, it's totally free, so sure, why not? And another nice thing about the theaters here is they often have like a little area outside where you can buy goods for the various movies. Not every single movie, of course, but for the more, you know, merchandisey, toyetic, that's the word I was thinking of from The Simpsons. You can get stuff. So I did pick up a few things. I've been trying to save money lately, but something like Star Wars, I mean, you kind of have to get some goodies. I picked up this really cute little Ray doll. Uh, Normally not really the sort of thing I go for, but it was only like $10, and I mean this is really cute. This is a nice, really nice souvenir. And let's see what else we got in here. Uh, I got this. It's called a tenugui, which is basically like hand towel, but if you look closely, yeah, there you go. It's really, really kind of long. These can go vertically or horizontally, and it's got BB-8 Astromech Droid on there in English. And I mean, again, it's another thing that's really cute. And again, this was only, I think, like $9. I've actually come quite the fan of these teneguis because, I mean, that's basically an old-time name for like an old-style Japanese towel, but now they put lots of cool designs and stuff, and you can. But yeah, I actually bought two of these teneguis. I'm thinking about sending one to a friend of mine or something else with it. So I didn't spend too much money on those. I just wanted to have a few things, not a huge amount, just so they don't clutter my place up with stuff. I also decided to pick up some stuff from the recent Full Metal Alchemist movie that came out on the 1st. Just if you happen to be curious about that, again, I bought this really cool looking towel and a clear file. I watched all of the Full Metal Alchemist anime back in college, the original one, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's a really, really good story. But I haven't actually gone and seen the live-action movie. I seriously thought about it, but it's just like, well, do I really want to spend this whole movie seeing how much of the Japanese I can decode? I mean, I already know the kind of the basic story of Full Metal Alchemist. So I decided, you know what, maybe I'll do it. I still haven't decided. So I've been playing for about 2 weeks. I'm sure it'll be around a little bit longer. But anyway. So all of that stuff there, that whole ball of wax came to about $50. And going for the 3D 4DX experience, that was like 30, like, I mean, basically roughly $32, give or take. Actually, a little bit less if you adjust properly for the conversion between yen and dollars, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to call it $32. And it was pretty fun. I mean, somebody even said to me when I was kind of talking going about seeing this movie, and they said, well, are you going to go to the 4DX version? I said, nah, I don't really want to spend that kind of money. They said, well, come on. If you're going to go and see any movie in 3D 4DX, it should be Star Wars. And, when I got there and I realized, well, okay, I can either go and see the subtitled version now, or I can have to come back in 2.5 hours, which I really didn't have time to do. I had other things to do. I said, okay, it's Star Wars. For this, okay, I'll give it a try. And it's certainly fun to do that. I mean, especially during like the dogfights and the X-wings and stuff. The seats bouncing around was actually pretty cool. But man, that's a stiff price. Basically $30 for a movie. That's pretty steep, or at least it is to me. But I'm one of those people. I like to go to matinees during the day when it's early, so the tickets are cheaper. So the idea of paying that much for a movie really, really grates on me. And yeah, that's pretty much all. Oh yeah, I did have to say, this being Star Wars, of course, the theater was absolutely packed. I mean, I've never in my life seen a movie theater this crowded. But then again, I've never seen a Star Wars movie while living in a big city. And that doubtlessly was a contributing factor to the craziness. But yeah, guys, as I've said before, going and seeing movies here in Japan it's a pretty nice experience. the theaters, I think, do offer in a lot of ways a somewhat better experience than we're used to back in the States. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Here in Japan, seeing a movie, I've never had the bad luck to sit down in a bunch of gum that somebody spread all over the seat, which is what happened to me when I went and saw the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. Man, can't. What is wrong with people? Seriously. And yeah, it's okay. So yeah, I'm still kind of bitter about some jerk who got gum all over my pants years and years ago. Okay, whatever. All right, guys, I'm going to call it here. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Gaijin Gaiden, and please also join me on Tumblr at Gaijin Gaiden. Until next time, take care and have a good one.